Hello, dear friends. Welcome to this program, Our Moments with God, our moments with the Word of God, our moments with the love, mercy, and compassion of God, our moments also with the holy ones of God, the saints of God who have shown us the way to go to the Father. And I invite you also to follow the path shown by the saints, or at least the Word of God, and spend these moments, which I call moments with God, usefully, fruitfully, so that we may be able to come closer to God. And if you like, you may please subscribe to this channel, share the videos with others, etc. Today, in the first reading from the book of Jeremiah, God says, "Curse the man who trusts in men, who finds his strength in the flesh, and curse the man who turns away from God." So curse the man who finds his trust in human beings or in flesh or in worldly things, like you see here, and also the gospel will come to this, how people go after luxurious things. Not that the cars are not useful, I also use a car, we need to use to transport, but when we only take our recourse only to these things and turn away from God, that is what the first reading is saying, then we are cursed. And at the same time, God is also saying through Jeremiah, "Blessed is the man who puts his trust in the Lord." Yes, these things are meant for our use and we need to use them. I always say that for me, my car to use is like my pen. I need a pen to write or to express some things, or some people use the bus to go from one place to the other in order to save time. We use this, but there are others. I just read the other day how some people are mad after collecting cars, and they should have expensive cars. And you see also many people on Indian roads particularly, who show their wealth by buying expensive cars, driving ruthlessly and absolutely driving over people and killing them. They have turned their attention totally to these things, and they have turned their attention from God or creatures of God by losing their respect for them. And then Jesus is confirming that in the gospel when he uses this beautiful story, which we all need to remember during this Lenten season, but also for our life, about this rich man who was always wearing fine clothes. Probably those times they didn't have cars, but he must have had beautiful coaches, horse driven, or I don't know. But he lived in a very luxurious place, wore fine linen, silk cloth and all that, and ate wonderful food, rich food. And below his table sat a man, a poor man called Lazarus, who had so many wounds on his body that the dogs came and licked his wound. There was no possibility for him to go and seek medical help, to go to the doctor or get medicine. And this man just ignored Lazarus. Lazarus was eating what fell from his table. He was feeding himself with that. So this rich man, he, at least in the gospel, is not seem to be having done anything wrong, but he did not turn towards God's creature that Lazarus was, towards the love that God has shown to Lazarus, or also to himself by being so rich, etc. He was only worried about himself. He had turned only to his own comfort, like I am just showing here in the background. And then when they die, what happens, we know the story, that when they die, he sees at a distance that this Lazarus is sitting in Abraham's lap. And then he is praying to Father Abraham, "Please send Lazarus so that he can dip his finger in water and satisfy my tongue which is burning, so it can cool my tongue with his water drop." And then you know the answer Abraham gave. In your lifetime, you had wonderful time. You had all the best things going for you in your lifetime. but you ignored this man. This man for whom everything was going bad, now God is showing him. There are many people in the world, I know this for sure, and sometimes it happens to me too, that I have ignored poor people or people who were in need because I was rushing somewhere, or I just ignored people because God's presence was not with me at that particular moment. And this can easily happen to us. We may find lot of excuses to ignore the poor, but in God's eyes they are important and they are rich. And as in the first reading it is said that these people who take curse to those who take refuge in men, who find their strength in flesh and who turn away from God. Let us use this time of Lenten season and even after that to turn our attention to God and derive from God the love that He has for us, the love that He has for others, and not take recourse to only luxury and comfort and only our own needs. And my dear friends, if you like, you may please subscribe to this channel and ask your friends to do the same. Thank you.